The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
The one, the only Maggie Dent is in the house. Welcome back, Mags.
Morning, Maggie.
Are my favourite people in WA.
You just get in WA here.
That's
Yeah.
nice, actually, not in Australia.
What do you
I'm
mean
glad you
just-
clarified that,
Why
Maggie.
didn't you just stopped after favourite people?
We didn't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Why did you have to put a qualifier on
all
that?
around. I love you.
all around.
Beth.
Too late.
Well, we do know that we're, you know...
You are. We go back a long way.
Yeah, we do.
You made Kate Ritchie cry, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was
Part of our Nova team.
I mean, the video of
Who
that
would
is
have
up on
thought?
our socials so that people
Yeah.
can
I know.
relive the moment when
I
you
know.
made Kate Ritchie
It's
National
amazing.
Treasure cry.
A lot of people really connect with what you got to say, Maggie, but that, what you had to say, and the people that haven't seen it, fill them
Yeah.
in about the point where Kate really emotionally connected with what you
Yeah,
said.
I was explaining how when most females go to bed, that we just don't drop asleep like most men.
Yeah.
Because you go into a single box sleep, boom, and women go in there and then they revisit every decision they made during the day. But we don't just do kind of like, oh, I didn't do it, they didn't eat enough broccoli and shivers. They go right ahead to next year's, book week and trying to work out the costume. And then they've gone back and beaten themselves up with something I did at their 21st. And then they go forward again and they're looking at, will they be able to get to university? And oh my God, when the dance, those dance shoes, they might wear. So we do this whole ruminating loop that can keep us awake for hours.
You
and
think someone could knock you on the head with a fry pan and knock
well,
you
it
out.
could, but
like
at
to
the
do
end
it.
of the day, it means we don't get enough sleep, and then we wake up tired, and then with the loop starts again.
Yeah.
And I think for Kate that particular day, she's a solo mum quite a lot of the time. She was pretty wary, and it nailed everything. She felt, and that's what we've had. Like, it's gone nuts.
Oh, there
Can't
was
remember.
a wave of everyone. Like,
But
women
it was
going, oh my
the
gosh.
conversations
Yeah.
is what.
Yes.
Suddenly there were guys going, oh, really? What, you just can't turn it off?
Yeah.
And
That's what
sometimes we can't.
resonated with me, Maggie, because I'd just gone through probably in that 24 hours seeing that was the same thing at my household, and I couldn't believe my wife would. Well, I just went to bed,
Yeah.
and she got up.
Yep.
Because she's
Yep.
thinking about my son going off to
Yep.
camp and then the other kids. And
Yep.
she was up till midnight.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
changing stuff and wondering if you had enough water, enough food,
Yeah.
and this bag was packed properly and all these things. What happens if this happens? And you didn't have enough pairs of jocks or socks.
Yeah,
and
and I
Well, just chuck a leg ham in a
cares?
backpack and put it out the door.
100%, Nathan, 100%.
I know, but the mental load is part of it. Like, even the basic mental load to keep the household running and keep the kids, their schedule.
Yeah,
The
they
guys,
don't-
like, you're very happy to go, oh, yeah, I'll pick them up, but you have to be told when to pick them up
Nat,
and where to
it's
pick them up
way
from.
worse now,
yes,
because
that's right,
when
on
I
top of
was
that.
I only got a school note in the bottom of a bag, lucky if they brought it home, maybe once a fortnight.
Yes.
To keep up with everything today, now if you've got kids at school or daycare, you've probably got 3 or 4 apps,
Yes.
and they're all messaging you if you've got more than one child, and then you've got your dance and your sport, and everyone's got these WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and it's
how you can
constant.
spend 45 minutes just trying to work out what did that change?
Yes.
And then of course you're trying to order lunch, and so it's like the digital world has just amped it right
Yeah,
up
for
because
sure.
that means those things are also going through your brain, and what we need to shift those apps onto Dad's phone.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
No, they
get
won't look at
lunch.
it. Nothing will
But we
ever
do also
happen.
say we are generalising here.
Yeah,
there are
very
dads
big.
that are listening and guys that are listening that do the
Totally.
same thing. They
Yes.
go through stuff in their heads, but
you will
as a
talk
majority.
to the statistically significant number of us
Yes.
women,
Yes.
and whatever the reasons, they actually kind of
Well,
felt pretty heard with that. Yeah.
And especially when you said, and then you worry up all night worried
Yeah.
about everything, and then the next day you'll add that into your
Yes.
guilt portfolio because you're tired.
And it's the guilt. It's the guilt
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we get drowned in afterwards. The guilt stick.
Maggie, we had our producer Amy just talking and asking you a question before. It just brings me back to when the kids were younger, and that was boys with their own penises and how much they're.
Yeah. Now, Amy was telling that her husband Alex won't stop touching him. And then she
So
said
some
that
of them never grow out of it. They're really
and then now
connected.
her son James is doing the same.
Oh, look, it was one of those things. And can we mention it's Mothering Our Boy's 5th birthday
Yep.
this month, which
Okay,
who would
it
have
is-
thought?
yeah, this is
Nobody
great.
wanted to publish it for me. I had to do it myself. And it is one of the things that a lot of mums needed to understand how precious that part of their anatomy is, because it's external. Right, you can hold
Yeah.
it, and a warm hand apparently is really good.
Sure
and
enough.
I think then it becomes like a friend, like because it's external.
It's hard to explain, but I agree.
Yeah.
And presumably just feels
Sean
good.
really tends to abuse his friend a lot.
And I'd like to say a warm hand from Nathan's.
I knew it was going to go bad. I walked in here.
I mean,
But the young, all the boys are like fascinated.
so should you stop them? Is I guess the question because or
Well, for
teach them
little
when
boys,
it's
it's often
appropriate.
an attempt to regulate themselves because it's actually what helps them calm down when they're away from their safe big people. So sometimes, early child educators or the kids in those early years, when a little boy goes to do that, he's actually not trying to be a naughty, disgusting little boy. He's actually trying to calm himself down because at that moment he's dysregulated, he's feeling really unsafe.
Well, Shaun should be calm all the way through the show.
We need to talk to them about where that's okay.
Yeah.
And also that we don't shame a boy that does that in public because he's learning, and they do get better, don't they, Nathan?
Yes.
At not doing it in public.
And
Don't
if you
shame
do,
me.
just wear a big overcoat.
Not suspicious.
Hey, if you've got a question
to
for
the
Maggie, now is a really good time to ask it.
Please ask.
13 24 10. We can talk about something else if you want to.
Or if it just seems a doodle question. We're open to that. Yeah, this is like such an honour to be able to get some time with Maggie. You've got to understand how important this woman is.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes,
so
you're a big deal, Mags.
no question too big, no question too small.
National treasure Maggie Dent is in the house. Maggie, this is amazing because you don't even live here. You've been nominated for the 2024 Senior Australian of the Year for WA.
I know, right?
And you don't live here.
I did say to them,
I mean,
know,
that's
I live out
amazing.
there. But apparently because I'm here for 53 years, and also WA really hasn't let go of me.
No,
Yeah.
we have.
I mean, we
certainly
own
haven't.
you, sure.
And I'm still an ambassador to Telton. I'm still an ambassador for all sorts of things in WA.
I mean, it'd be pretty funny if you got nominated in New South Wales as well and had to go up against
but it
yourself.
really means I'm finally old. I'm not.
Yeah, what do you think
Well,
about
you're up against Jessica Tandy, who's passed. And
you have the
also the old
senior
lady
thing
from the
next year.
Titanic.
Maggie.
I wasn't ready for the senior bit yet. So
yeah.
Maggie, can I
I'm
tell
really
you?
honoured. So maybe don't give it to me this time. Maybe when I'm really senior.
Okay, yeah,
And
yours.
old.
Can I say, we were at the Caravan and Camping Show one day, right? And this was one of Mum's most traumatic memories. And we're walking through, I just bought her this hat, this lovely sun hat, and she was feeling good. And as she was walking through there, this person clocked eyes with Mum and went through an entire crowd to grab her and then handed her a retirement home pamphlet.
It's the hat, obviously. Hurtful.
Mum's never put that hat on again. I said, it's not the hat.
Look, it's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
It's a
whippersnapper,
senior.
we know it.
Yeah.
Lisa's in Baldarvis. Hi, Lisa.
Lisa?
Hi guys, how you going?
You need some help from Maggie.
I do. I'm just wondering how to navigate competing nature of siblings. Particularly, I've got a younger, almost 10-year-old autistic son who believes he should be on the same level on all things academic, physical, etc. as his 2.5-year-old brother. And it becomes quite complicated in the house in trying to navigate that he can't be on that same level and that, it comes to time.
It's an unfair
Oh,
contest.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, so even though he's got that additional identity, which makes things a little confusing at times, let's be really honest that there are roosters and lambs in our kids. And our rooster kids, girls and boys, they're really a bit competitive because they do think that they are more important. I'm far more important. Sometimes it's not the oldest. Sometimes it's, it's not birth order. And you'll know all the time they're trying to fight to be first. And therefore, it can be really, really irritating. So I think one of the challenges in that space is to be able to make sure they learn to lose well, do a lot of losing. So that's why Pass the Parcel shouldn't have changed its rules. We should be still making only one prize. We should, anything you can do over and over again, noughts and crosses, spot it games, and random things so that constantly he gets marinated in learning to lose and lose okay without it being a sign that I'm not okay, because that you can take forward into anything in life. Now, you do realise that they're not really going to take a lecture from us very often. So, in other words, it's more what we can change with the behaviour, and can you fail a lot too so they can see you failing and you're actually okay with failing, and it kind of models for them that we don't always have to win to be, a decent human. I think...
So Lisa failing, would that be as simple as like burning dinner one night?
Yeah.
Or what would it...
He definitely got his competitiveness from his mother.
Oh, really? Don't you hate that mirror when it looks you right?
I know
there
that's
you go.
harsh, isn't it? So trying new things as well that you're not going to be good at.
Yeah, absolutely. And just gently pushing it in that space. But since you're
Really sucking
competitive,
at bowling.
then
Yeah.
both of you do the same training, please. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right.
Good luck.
Good on you,
Well,
Lise. Thank you. Kerry's in Wellard. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Hey, Kerry.
Kerry, what's going on that you need Maggie's help with?
I've got 2 boys. One's just over 2 and one's almost 10 months.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sending a great big love. Oh, you're busy.
And, yes. And my 2-year-old, or just over 2-year-old, he's showing a lot of his personality now and loves to throw things and kick and stuff like that. And, you know, we've tried sort of naughty corners and stuff, which tend to work, but then he thinks it's a joke and then he'll, like, run around and play and that kind of thing. And he's, you know, he's talking a bit, but he's not full vocab yet. So it's that sort of just understanding how do we get him to... You know, because he'll either be doing it out of a tantrum or just for fun, throw something, and then we'll be like, no, you know, and then he'll just think it's a joke or...
Okay, let's go. Let's jump right in here. 2-year-olds, particularly 2-year-old boys, really have a tiny, weeny cognitive perception and understanding of exactly what we'd like them to do. So he's actually behaving beautifully normally. And also, you've got to remember you've brought in, you know, a usurper that's taken a lot of your love and energy. So sometimes it takes to about 10 months before they realise this little character's not going anywhere. And sometimes what comes out of their physicality, because they can't tell you with words, can actually be what you might not like to see. But you've got to remember physicality with a lot of boys is how they show they love them. So sometimes I want to jump on the baby, and it's because I want to play with you, but you're a little blob. So just make sure you're not telling a story that's actually not technically correct. Now, let me give you the best news ever for today. That punishment, we know that what punishment does, it damages the relationship you have with your parents, your core parents. So what you want, the more likely he's going to do what you want him to do as you go forward,
Nat and Shaun
is the more
podcast.
loved and safe he feels. So all of those things that, you know, naughty corners and timeouts and all those sorts of things are actually a separation, not a connection or a disconnection. So I want you to row up to him, rub his back and say, stop doing that now. So you connect with him in a warm, loving way and say, I need you to stop doing that now.
Go in the corner and play with your doodle.
Does that make some sense?
No, that's my 10-month-old, not my 2-year-old.
Well, no nappy. But can you see, once again, he's really developmentally, this is kind of normal behaviour. It's going to be frustrating for a few years, but they're not deliberately trying to be naughty, and behaviourism only work really well for rats. So work on your relationship to be a tender, firm, loving parent. Because when you get the balance right...
It's hard though, isn't it? So they're just throwing something, someone's been hurt, you're furious, and then you've got to, like, check yourself and then rub him on the back and go, it's okay, it's okay.
I don't think you meant to hurt your brother, but right now we don't do that. Boom, drop it.
So you need to calm yourself before you approach that
Absolutely.
situation.
So hard to do.
It's not easy, and it does get gradually better, but 4 could be a little bit more tricky. Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks, Kerry. Amy's in Guildford. Hello.
We'll send her a book.
Good morning.
Yeah, we'll send her.
Good morning.
Hi, Amy. Now, how can Maggie assist?
Well, I also have a 2-year-old boy.
Sweetheart.
He is, well, he's not struggling. I'm struggling with his volume control.
My mum went through this.
She's still going through it.
He just can't. He's just an 11 out of 10 all the time. And it sounds angry, but there's nothing in there. It's just all hot air. And he's intimidating his little cousin.
Oh, I know.
My ears. He yells in my ears.
Yeah. Okay. So the frustration of being a little boy who actually hasn't necessarily got enough words, who actually doesn't understand feelings and emotions, who's driven by all these developing things about I want, me, do, I, you know, all of that, is that they've got to get that energy out of the body. So at the moment it's through yelling and screaming.
Congratulations.
I know, it's such a frustrating thing because it triggers all of us. I mean, I had one of my grandsons like this and, oh, man, when it was going. So what I did like to see is that sometimes either parent who's the calmest at the time, because they pick up our vibes, you know, they look at our face because we're already lost it. That's not a loving face. I'm going to scream a bit more. If the other parent's not as, you know, triggered by it, they come in and scoop them up and say, come on, let's go outside for a while and see if we can find some birds. So in other words, they're going to scoop you up because changing the location, sometimes it's a loving distraction, but they also see there's warm arms around him that make him feel, oh, someone's got me because I'm out of control. I need a grown up to help me right now. And this is the only thing I've got. I've got nothing, no other tools in my toolkit right now. And that's frustrating for him. So they get really frustrated because this is the window. They want more autonomy. Yeah, and that's why you'll have meltdowns over what colour cup and, you know, that someone looked at them and, you know, whoever
You shouldn't
farted.
look at them.
and-
So.
So it's really frustrating in this window, but that's not a child deliberately doing it. So when they're calm, your job is to watch their energy levels so they don't escalate over. So when you see their voice coming up or their face starting, that's when you step in with a plate full of food. Or fart in their face or something that can lighten it in that moment before they tip over, or as Dan Siegel would say, flip their lid. If you can kind of ease into that space. But they do outgrow it, although, like I said, the worst years for boys, 2, 4, 8, 14, 18. Good luck.
I wash my hands.
There's a book coming.
Amy, and we'll give Amy a copy of Mothering Our Boys,
Good
which
on
is
you,
your
Amy.
guide as well. And you've got a podcast as well, The Good Enough Dad.
Oh, my God. How crazy is
So
that?
where you're chatting to a bunch of dads about just being good enough.
Amazing dads. You just
So you don't have to be the best, you just have to be good enough.
just
It's the
good
same
enough.
for mums too, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
every now and then they're sharing stuff that they thought they really buggered up with. And I said, can you see the gold under this?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, no. So beautiful dads, lots
Yeah.
of beautiful dads.
So
I
including
cried a lot.
John
I cried
Butler
a lot.
is-
John Butler's
Butler.
up today.
That's
Woo!
great.
Yeah.
What other guests you got? You got
Ooh,
any sneak
you
peeks?
wouldn't believe it.
Hamish
totally.
Blake's on there.
Yeah. Dave Campbell. Oh my God, that's a big
he's fun.
conversation when he drops that one. What you don't want to hear when you're a 10-year-old. Ben Tannet's a big rugby player. He's coming. I've done the How To Dad in New Zealand. Oh my God, I had to stop because I was wetting myself with laughing. He was
Oh,
the
really?
funniest. He's a funny dude. Have you never seen him?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really good.
All right, we'll be listening to that,
There's
Maggie.
so many.
It's weird you haven't asked Shaun McManus.
No,
You know why? Because there's no
fair, she's had-
podcast long enough.
She's had Tristan McManus, which
Yeah,
is practically the
close.
same thing.
how many kids has he got?
Yeah, he's got
not even
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
it's got
good.
me.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Maggie, we love you. Thank you.
Thanks,
so
Maggie.
good to see
Love
you
you all.
again.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Congratulations to Andrew Gaff and his partner Emma. They're married.
Oh,
It's really
That's lovely news.
wedding season, isn't it?
Really
When it's
nice,
off
isn't it?
season for the
well,
footy.
the footy players, it is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing.
No, Sean, they had to evacuate the wedding because of the bushfire threat. They were at a popular city beach park, and then
No, the Quarry Amphitheatre,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful wedding venue.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
beautiful.
gorgeous.
the fire
awesome.
started at Bowl Park around 9 p.m. Guests are understood to have been quickly ushered out of the venue as the blaze quickly took hold. A witness described seeing guests leaving in a taxi, one of them holding an uncut wedding cake.
But you imagine it's like, that's a lot of responsibility.
That's when you really go, oh, we shouldn't have got 5 cheers. Damn it, why didn't we just go mud cake from Coles?
The other thing too about that venue is you have to go down all these stairs. So the
they're carrying
marquee's at
the
the
cake
bottom
all
of
the-
it. You've got to go up to get to the car park. So somebody had to carry that
That's so
cake
funny.
all the way up the stairs.
Well, they said that they were fine, though. They just went to Elliot Yeo's pub, the Broken Hill Hotel. It's
good to
Been to
know.
Broken Hill in Vic Park, which is easy.
But that's not close though. That's quite a
it
way
is,
away.
But at least you know what? They had a friend with a venue.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
right.
just wonder, they must have done it outside because it's a bit of a marquee that you always put up outside there. But there would have been other patrons there that were trying to
it's
just
like-
go about their business.
Yeah.
There's a dining area, obviously.
Can you get out? We need
Sorry,
to have
guys.
a wedding.
Do you know what? It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure the bride and the groom, and probably mostly the bride, wants to make sure that her wedding day is just about the wedding and the union of
Well,
them
it's planned.
together.
It's planned to within an inch of its life. You know, so every
Yeah.
little detail
Yeah.
is thought about,
Yeah.
agonised over. You've made all these decisions, and then everything is out of your control.
Yeah.
It's
And
literally just thrown up in
Suddenly,
the air.
the story from your wedding isn't the union of
No.
you and your partner. It's something else. The other day, there was a video floating around at a guy. So people started giving him flack about it, but it was obviously organised. It was the moment where a bride was about to throw her bouquet behind her, and instead she turns around and she walks straight over to her best friend and hands her best friend her bouquet, and her best friend goes, "What the hell's happening?" Then she spins her around, and then her best friend's boyfriend is on his knee proposing to her. So at that
Look,
wedding,
I mean, the
everyone would have
golden
been
rule,
talking
yes.
about that proposal, but they were cool.
I know.
It was all
It's
pretty
obviously
organised.
set it up, but the golden rule is don't propose at
Yeah,
someone else's
I know,
wedding.
that's amazing.
But
We always-
so at
yeah.
that wedding, everyone would have been talking about
Yeah.
the proposal. Andrew Guess, everyone was talking about the evacuation.
Evacuation, the fire.
Yeah, we're talking about weddings, and Harry.
My sister's wedding, March
Oh, yes.
March last year. Everyone's boozed up. It's about 10 o'clock. The dance floor is firing up. My cousin comes up to me, and the music's so loud. She's going, rah, 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 this happened. I'm like, what? Shane Warne died.
Oh.
That was the thing that
was yeah.
So that's all anyone was talking about from that point on.
From about 10 o'clock, that was spreading like wildfire around the wedding.
Yeah.
I was just thinking,
What
okay,
a buzzkill.
I'm going, okay, hang on, it's my sister's wedding. It's already been cancelled due to COVID. I'm going to mourn tomorrow. I'm going to mourn Warnie tomorrow.
Your best friend,
and
Warnie, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Did that drop the atmosphere of the wedding? Because everyone would have, as you said, everyone would have been talking about.
The uncles are keen cricketers, so they were a little bit.
So everyone was down. The dance floor thinned out pretty quickly.
No, everyone just pretty much separated.
oh my God.
It separated the two major events. One's very positive, one's very negative.
Well, you have to ask yourself, what would Warnie want us to do in these circumstances? And it would definitely be continue the party.
I don't think it affected things too much.
But you at
while
least
being
know.
respectful.
In 20 years' time, when people go, where were you when Shane Warne died? You know. You're at your sister's exactly where you
that's
were.
Right.
That's amazing.
The question we're asking is the big thing that happened at your wedding or a wedding that you went to that wasn't the bride and groom getting married.
No.
So there was
wedding.
another story that totally eclipsed it. We're going to give somebody something really, really great.
What is it?
How about $150 to spend at Autobahn Mechanical?
How about that?
Well, don't lose your call this summer and save on an aircon regas at Autobahn Mechanical for just $169, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Google Autobahn today, guys.
All right, so what happened at the wedding that wasn't the bride and groom getting married and could have been your wedding, could have been some guy's wedding. Paula's in Greenwood. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning.
Hi,
Paula.
Okay, so whose wedding was it and what went down?
It was my younger sister's wedding. She got proposed to. She wanted a particular sentimental date to get married on, but everything was fully booked out
Okay.
until the World Cup dropped the English match date
Yes.
on her wedding day that she wanted.
So it freed everything up.
Suddenly everything got cancelled and she could have anything.
But also then, did anybody want to go to her wedding?
Yes, because she decided to stop her wedding halfway through. Everybody piled into the bar on the side, and they all watched the match during the wedding and then went back in and carried on.
Lovely. 95 minutes, done.
That's great.
That's including stoppage time, obviously.
Was she a fan of the game, Paula?
She is. She is
Okay.
an avid soccer fan, yeah.
See, that's a good thing for her
Yeah.
because it's not
This
out
is
of
a
the
win-win.
world if that's a bride
And she gets the
that
venue
hates
she
it.
wants. Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about those weddings? And that happens every year where
Yes.
the bride is not a fan, so they have it on a grand final day or
Yes.
World Cup day or whatever. But
And all
most of the audience
reluctant
are.
guests are
Yeah.
like, oh, I wanna
Paula,
watch
did
footy.
did they have a win?
Yes, they did.
It makes a
So
difference
it was
to the party, yeah.
celebration to the party, yes. And she got a super great discount too because nobody wanted the venue.
Perfect. Supply and demand.
That's right. Win, win, win. Thanks, Paula. Wendy's in Baldivis. Hello.
Hello there.
Hi, Wendy.
Wendy, talk to us. What went down at the wedding?
Well, unfortunately, it was at 3 different weddings. I'm just a bad luck charm. First of all, at my cousin's wedding, his grandmother had a stroke at the wedding and had to be taken to hospital.
Oh, no, Wendy.
Wendy, that's a massive
one.
downer. Thank you.
Like, what time was that in the night?
It was in the daytime. It was first thing in the day.
Oh, God.
Then at my sister's wedding a couple of years later, my gran was quite ill and my sister was due to ring her because she couldn't make the wedding, but unfortunately she passed away that morning.
Is that
Wendy?
the same?
Wendy.
This is heartbreaking.
Wendy, sorry, is that the same grandmother? No,
No,
that
no,
wrong?
different
one.
grandmother.
Sorry,
Stop taking
sorry.
grandmothers to weddings.
I know.
All right. What about
And
the
then at
third?
my wedding, my mother fell down the stairs.
Wendy.
Was she okay?
Yeah, she was fine. She had to-
Okay, so now we can laugh about it. Thank you for telling us that.
Was it at all funny at all that night, or was it just like, oh no, mum's fallen down the stairs, help?
Well, it was as we were having the photos taken, so it wasn't ideal.
Oh, God.
Is it like, I mean, if it was as the photo was being taken, that would be a great photo of your mum just like tumbling down the stairs.
This is why-
Like an action shot.
If I was there and I saw that happen,
And then the photographer says, oh, can we just do that again? That's it.
I laugh at people falling over like that
Yeah,
before
yes,
I know
you
if
do.
they're okay. And it's not, I'm not being mean.
just a
It's just
reaction.
my reaction is like,
Wendy's just a monster.
I see the fall, not the hurt.
You're a
You
sociopath.
ever been to a wedding, Wendy, where something good's happened?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of weddings, and
Yeah.
everybody is still married at all of those.
Okay,
events.
good.
Okay, that's rare.
And what
Yeah,
about
that is
what
rare.
about the survival rate of all the guests? Is everyone okay? Everyone's
It's
living.
mixed.
Everyone.
Seems like we're
Not
running.
Oh,
everyone.
it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. They've all passed away now.
Maybe you should be handing out stack hats as they walk in.
Thank you, Wendy. We need to keep on your good side and don't come to our weddings, okay? We're discussing when something big happens at the wedding that's, not about the wedding.
They're the most exciting ones to go to.
And
Hi,
everyone's
James.
talking about it.
Hey, James, how are you, mate?
Good, yourself?
Yeah,
Wonderful,
good.
James.
What was the headline from the wedding, James?
So the bridal party were all on the dance floor, kind of getting a photo from the photographer. And the photographer was, backing up a little bit more, taking a photo, backing up a bit more, taking a photo. Backed right up into the cake stand, and the entire cake just went over. I burst out laughing because it was just one of the most awkward things, and she got the full photo of like our faces and everything.
Oh, great.
And everyone else was shocked and you had just nothing but glee on your face.
Well, it was, pure gold. But, it sucked. But, we could salvage kind of the bottom tier of the cake.
Just sort of jam it back together.
The way they came around with the leftovers and everyone just grabbed a handful.
That's exactly it. A couple of drinks and no one kind of cared.
Exactly.
But,
It's a good story.
It was a bit of fun anyway.
The cake is one of the most expensive things for
They're
a wedding,
so
right?
expensive.
And no one cares. Like, no one cares at the end of the day.
I know they're
Except for
never under 1,000, are they? Like, but when you get like tiers up, are they true? Are they?
I mean, it
well,
depends,
just depends. But yes, Nathan.
There's a lot of
bloody-
variables there. Yeah.
And my favourite thing is James pisses himself laughing when he sees.
You're our kind of guy,
Oh,
James.
James, I'd sit on your table.
Thank you.
Oh, and then imagine if the mum fell down the stairs. Oh, I'd be laughing. Oh,
So what a double act. Tracy's in Mandurah. Hi, Trace.
Hi.
Hi, Trace.
Trace. Now, what was the thing that everybody talked about after the wedding?
I was in the bridal party and the bride's mother was so proud, so excited, couple of wines deep, and was following her daughter walking, and she ended up falling in the pond and got soaking wet.
That would be amazing. What an amazing thing
The
to
only thing
witness.
that could be better if she fell down the stairs into a
the
pond.
It was the most funniest,
And took out the cake on the
awkward-
way. That's,
So what does someone do when someone's soaked at a wedding? Do you like? Is it just everyone gets their napkins and starts
Takes
dabbing
it-
on her?
takes her to the toilet under the hairdryer?
She was 100% soaked.
Should have
She
to go
had
home,
to
yeah.
go to her room and change into jeans and a t-shirt
Yeah.
because that's all she had.
And she would have had a beautiful mother of the bride outfit and
sure.
everything. And
She
that's,
did, makeup done and all.
There is a special place in heaven for people that walk into ponds.
I know.
I think it's so great.
was she fully submerged, Trace? Like, is one of those, or was that kind of just a bit wet? Or was she fully
To the
drenched?
shoulders.
Oh, my God.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And ponds aren't like, it's not fresh water,
They're not
you know what I
clean,
mean?
yeah.
It's duck
duck shit.
poo and
Yeah.
algae and stuff.
Algae.
Amazing.
Oh, that was great,
Thanks,
Trace.
Trace.
Let's finish off with David in Allenbrook. Hey, Dave.
Good morning. How are we?
Hey, we're good.
What happened at the wedding, Dave?
All right. So, preface this. I'm a professional.
All right, David, you hold on for 1 second. We're going to talk amongst
Your line,
ourselves because
yeah.
I need to hear your story.
And your line's really
fuzzy.
Yeah, fuzzy.
Yeah. Hello, someone in there. Can they pick up David, please?
Oh,
I think we're going to end it here.
We've run out of time. Sorry, Dave, we'll never know the answer.
No.
Sean?
Yes, we've got $150 to spend at Autobahn Mechanical, actually, Nat.
Yeah, who are you going to give it to?
I'm going to give it to Tracy about the pond.
Okay, you had us at Pond
I
Scum.
think we should have given it to David because we can hear his story. And I think it was going to be good. I need to hear that story.
I know, we're never going to know.
We
We've got
are,
to get
we
to the
are.
news
We
with
need to
Ellie.
Nathan